Food for thought. Life is going to have a change of pace. Sometimes you're going to have fast paces in life when you have to get X, Y, and Z done. But then there's also times in life when you have to slow down a little bit, when you have to recharge, when you have to rest, when you have to refuel your battery and recharge it. I say this because there's a time and place for everything. Sometimes you feel like you need to go 1,000 miles an hour to get everything done, that there are due dates, that there are things that you need to accomplish, that you need to get done, that feel like an absolute priority. But then there are other times that you need to slow down before your body makes you slow down. We get used to living at such a high pace because we have to get things done. We have to complete obligations. There's this task we have to do by this date. We have to do X, Y, and Z. And so every single day, this habit compounds over and over and over again. And you continually have to be at 1,000 miles an hour. Because that's the only way that you're able to get everything done. That is the only way that you can finally take a breather at the end of the weekend to slow down. But then when we want to slow down, we don't. We never do. Because we're so used to having that high level of intensity, that stress level being at max, that effort being at 100. Because you give it your all. You never not try your best. And that's admirable. That really is. But the thing is, there are times when you have to slow down. That you do have to take a rest. For example, there are so many people after competing in the Olympics or in the World Championships or in some major tournament that they take a break. They take a little break, a hiatus for a little bit, because then they can fully come back stronger, better than ever. Because you see these athletes, I say this coming from an athletic perspective because that's the only one that I can think off the top of my head right now. But think about it. Athletes who train non-stop are very tired, worn down. They are absolutely exhausted. But they have that rest. They have that recovery time of sleep. But are you giving yourself that recovery? Are you giving yourself or even allowing yourself to sleep enough? Are you letting your mind slow down at night and not think at 1,000 miles an hour? Because you should. You really should. And you need to slow down. Because sometimes when we go so fast, we're trying to fill time. We're trying to make sure that time goes by so fast. We're trying to make sure we're busy so then we can get to X, Y, and Z, so then we can not be here. But then sometimes we have to look back and think, wow, well, will my future self think I missed out because I was being so busy and I wasn't slowing down? And I don't want you to make that mistake, or not even mistake, but have to learn that the hard way. Because it's hard to learn that lesson. That you realize that you are trying to keep yourself busy and run at 1,000 miles an hour because you see your end goal. Because you see that you're almost done. But the thing is, when you're almost done, it's so sweet. Because you no longer have to have that stress anymore of going to that job or going to that internship or going to school. You can have a little break. You can have a little vacation. You don't have to push as hard anymore. And not to say that the next turnaround, you're not going to have to work hard. But maybe for the next week or two, you won't have to. Because you don't need to. And trying to figure out that lever between, oh, I need to go, oh, I need to stop. There's a happy middle that you can still get things done, but you still can be at a slower pace. My mentor, I talked to him like from my college, and this was like back in May, and I was like, do you ever get sick of this? Like, are you ever tired of this? And I was like, are you excited for summer? And he was like, yeah, of course I'm excited for summer. Yeah, I'm still in school and I enjoy it, but it's at a different pace. It's at a slower pace. I don't even know if he used the term slower, but it's a different pace. Because August to May, you have so many things, at least in my school. You have so many things, and he has to do so many things. And then he teaches summer classes, and he just has to focus on that. Just those classes. And those classes might run all day, but they're not the same. Every stage in our life is not the same. And I think that's what sometimes we can get so anxious about, that difference between 1,000 miles an hour to maybe 10 or even 100 or even 500. That's a change, and that's scary, and it's uncomfortable because we're so used to going at that fast pace, and we kind of shut off what we are feeling, what we are thinking, and what we truly want. Because so then we don't have to think about that. Because sometimes when we're in that fast pace of a life, we shut off our emotions so then we can solely focus on going out and being productive and getting things done. Because that's how you can, that's how you do, that's how you get through it, that's how you do it. What you do is hard. And so you have to do hard things. And so emotionally you have to shut off your brain to be able to do those hard things, to be able to be as productive as you are. So then you can just clock in, clock out. And it's hard not to imagine your life being at 1,000 miles an hour when you've been going like that for I don't know how many months, how many years of your life. And then all of a sudden, poof, it's gone. And every transition is kind of like a test, because this is not your first time going through a big change of pace in your life. It can't be. And so this go around, it'll be different, but in a good way. It'll be different because you've had life experience. You have a little bit more than you did before your last change of gears. And that is why we sometimes have the same things occur over and over and over again. Because sometimes we don't learn lessons until the third, fourth, fifth time. And so sometimes things repeat again and again and again until we learn. I think this statement's very true. You can disagree with me, that's fine. But I think it's true from the perspective of even friendships. Sometimes people will come into your life after leaving, and you think that they've changed, but they haven't. And you're the one who has changed, and you're the one that has to be different. Or unless you're going to get the same outcome. Shame on you, shame on you, shame on me the third time. And that is not to say that we can't make mistakes, but we should try not to make the same mistakes. And if we do, we can always learn from them again. And there's nothing wrong with doing things over again. I want you to know that certain things will occur multiple times in different ways because we are different people and we will have different experiences, and so different experiences will cultivate similar but obviously different experiences. And I want you to remember that you are okay to slow down. No one is putting pressure on you to keep at 1,000 miles an hour, because at the end of the day, big picture, how is this moment going to affect you in 10 years from now if it doesn't go perfectly? Because how many things in the past few months have gone perfectly? Not many. And that's okay. And you've made it. And you've done it. And you've washed your hands of certain things. And I want you to know that it's okay to slow down. That things will fall into place. You don't need to rush things. It's very easy to want to rush things because we want to be perfect. We want to have things planned. We need to have things planned so we can have control over things, but we can't. And we just have to let things fall into place. And when we stop trying to force things, when we stop trying to rush things, things will fall for the better. You won't be, no eggs will crack, no dishes will fall, no bowls will fall, nothing will fall, because you are on the ball game. You really are. That doesn't mean you can't juggle slower. Because think about it. I say this because I saw a dude literally juggling like bowling pins. But the thing is, you juggle as fast as you want to. But you can still keep things in the air. Because you just go, I don't know how to juggle, but that's just how I imagine juggling being. It's probably not. It's probably like this or something. I don't know. But the thing is, as fast as you throw the ball up and how hard you go is how fast that ball will come down. It's weird, but look it up. It's physics. I think I learned that before I took physics, but anyway, it's okay to slow down. And I'm trying to slow down too. I'm trying to tell myself that I don't need to go as fast anymore, and then I can actually take a breather for a bit, because I've been running real quick to keep myself busy, to be fully honest. I definitely been trying to fill my schedule as much as I can, or as much as I could, so then time could just go by quick. But I knew that I was doing that deep down, and that like I was just trying to get through the day. But then here I am, I'm like, oh my gosh, I like have no time to rest. But then I'm like, well, yeah, because you were running so quick. You had so many things in your schedule that you packed purposefully. And so I'm working on it. And I'm saying all this stuff from what I'm trying to learn, and I'm trying to tell myself. And I hope you know, if you're struggling with this, I'm struggling with it too. And to be completely honest, all the things that I talk about, I'm trying to work on too. And I talk about half these things from personal experience. And so, even if it seems like I've got this figured out, and I seem like I'm calm, cool, collected, cool like a cucumber, I'm just as distraught, upset, stressed as any other person. And so I really hope you know I'm in it with you. I'm in the thick of it with you. And that you shouldn't feel alone or even lonely, because we're in it together and we're going to work on things together. And as long as you know that I'm here with you and that I'm going to get through this with you, then everything's going to be fine. Because I honestly believe it's better than okay, because we're thankfully here now. Food for thought.